Heyo, and what is up, gang? I'm Nick Nightmare from Sledgehammer TV, and this is the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show's official 2018 Mae Young Classic Bracketology Breakdown. 32 of the most talented women from all over the world once again converge at Full Sail University in the hopes of getting their hands on the coveted Mae Young Classic trophy, being only the second woman in history to do so. This year's field is more impressive than last year's, which is almost an impossibility, and we are going to take a look at each and every matchup coming our way. Before we get started, we publish new content 3 times a week, and in order to not miss that, you have to hit that subscribe button right now and ring that notification bell so that you do not miss a thing coming at you from us here at Sledgehammer TV. Let's kick this thing off with the first matchup, Meiko Satomura versus Killer Kelly. The highly anticipated debut of Japanese legend Meiko Satomura is going to prove to be a very tough test for the newest announced signee to the NXT UK Women's Division, Killer Kelly. It'll be interesting to see what happens in this one, although I do not expect Killer Kelly to go down to Lady Godzilla herself, Meiko Satomura. My prediction to move on to the next round. Next up, we have Ashley Rain versus Mercedes Martinez. A battle of 2 experienced wrestlers. Ashley Rain makes her WWE debut after a lengthy TNA career and looks to make an impact against Mercedes Martinez, who was impressive in last year's tournament and looks to go all the way this year. A very tough matchup for both of these women, and I'm gonna pick Mercedes Martinez based off of her experience from last year's tournament. Matchup number 3 in the first round features 2 new fresh faces for WWE fans to enjoy, as the beautiful and powerful Lacey Lane looks to make her debut and maybe one of the biggest tests in her career thus far in Vanessa Craven, an absolute powerhouse. This match could go either way. I'm going to pick Vanessa Craven based off of her experience to move on, although I am much looking forward to see what the Dudley Boys trainee Lacey Lane has to bring to the Mae Young Classic this year. Next up, we have Taynara Conti versus Jessie Ellison. Taynara Conti, another returning competitor from last year's tournament, looking to make a better impression, and she just might this year as she goes against a virtual NXT rookie and relative unknown in Jessie Ellison. I would be very surprised if Taynara Conti is not the one to move on to the second round. Next, we are going to see Toni Storm versus Jinny. This matchup could very well just be the beginning of what could be the main program for the NXT UK's women's division, as these are 2 of the top women in all of the world going at it in the Mae Young Classic once again. And Toni Storm so close last year to the end, I would be remiss to not pick her to win this matchup and advance to the second round, as her second shot comes up in this year's Mae Young Classic. Rachel Evers versus Hiroyo Matsumoto. Rachel Evers probably drew the shortest straw of the bunch, as she gets to go up against what might be the absolute most feared competitor, as Hiroyo Matsumoto is a very high favorite to win this match. Rachel Evers, the daughter of Paul Ellering, I don't think she needs to win this match. She's probably got a spot in NXT, and Hiroyo Matsumoto is going to be the one to advance to the second round. Then we're going to see Mia Yim versus Allison Kay. An Impact Wrestling Knockouts division match taking place at the Mae Young Classic this year. Allison Kay going up against Mia Yim, 2 very well respected women in all of professional wrestling, 2 of the most talented women in this tournament altogether. It'll be interesting to see if Allison Kay keeps her pinkies up against the very formidable opponent in Mia Yim, who is my pick to move on to the second round. Next up, we have Caitlyn versus Kavita Devi. Former WWE superstar Caitlyn coming back as this year's redemption story for the Mae Young Classic, and she has got a very, very big mountain in her way. In the name of Kavita Devi, she is coming back for her second shot at the Mae Young Classic. She didn't get past the first round last year. It'll be interesting to see what she could bring to the table against a former Divas champion, and if Caitlyn has enough to take care of this very imposing female. My pick to win, Caitlyn, moves on to the second round. Tegan Nox versus Zatara. Another highly anticipated debut for this year's WWE Mae Young Classic is Tegan Nox, formerly known as Nixon Newell, but she has another big test in her way as she's facing a very decorated champion from Mexico in Zatara. This is going to be a very good matchup, probably one to keep your eye on for the entirety of the tournament. My pick going to Tegan Nox, who I think will advance to the second round. Isla Dawn versus Nicole Matthews. Isla Dawn has found a home in NXT UK and their women's division there, but will she be able to get out of the first round versus the bigger, stronger, more powerful Nicole Matthews, who makes her WWE debut in this year's tournament? My pick to win and go on in this one, Nicole Matthews. Rhea Ripley versus MJ Jenkins. MJ Jenkins looking to make her presence felt and her name known in this year's Mae Young Classic, but she has got a very big test to climb in order to do so. Rhea Ripley coming back for a second appearance in the Mae Young Classic this year. She was very impressive last year, made it out of the first round. Let's see if she could go much further this year. MJ Jenkins got her hands full with the talented Australian beauty, Rhea Ripley. Casey Catanzaro versus Reina Gonzalez. Another returning competitor from last year's field is second-generation superstar Reina Gonzalez, but she's got a ninja in her way as Casey Catanzaro looks to make the jump from American Ninja Warrior to the professional wrestling ring. This ain't no obstacle course, and I don't know if she's going to have what it takes to take out a veteran in the form of Reina Gonzalez, but my pick is going to Casey Catanzaro because, come on, dude, ninja. Io Shirai versus Xia Brookside. Of all the new faces coming to us in this year's Mae Young Classic, none of them have been more anticipated than Io Shirai. The Japanese buzzsaw is coming to the Mae Young Classic and is going to be taking on Xia Brookside, another second-generation superstar. It'll be interesting to see if her famous father's training will be enough to take out one of the best wrestlers from Japan, maybe one of the best in the world. Io Shirai is going to win this matchup. Zeuxis versus Ariel Monroe. Up until now, Ariel Monroe's biggest moment in the WWE was being squashed by Nia Jax on a Monday Night Raw. And now she is set to take on one of the world's best in Zeuxis, another decorated luchadora coming to us from the world of Lucha Libre. This is a very formidable test for Ariel Monroe, and I hope to see what she's really got this time, as she just might be squashed by Zeuxis, and that is my pick to win Zeuxis to the second round. Deonna Purrazzo versus Priscilla Kelly. Deonna Purrazzo is seemingly already a fan favorite to win this whole tournament, but she has a deeply dark and disturbing woman in her way in the form of Priscilla Kelly. I love and hate this matchup because I wanted to see Priscilla Kelly go far in this tournament. I'm absolutely smitten with her right now. But Deonna Purrazzo, as I said, the fan favorite, probably has the momentum, probably the better wrestling ability, and will most likely move on to the second round. And finally, finishing off the field with Karen Q versus Xia Li. This is a very interesting match between two relative newcomers. Xia Li, the first Chinese female signee to the WWE. Karen Q, another in the long line of Asian talents that are influxing the WWE right now. Both of these girls are not really proven. It'll be interesting to see who comes out on top of this match. My pick's going with the girl from Queens, New York, right here in my hometown, Karen Q moving on to the second round despite Xia Li's experience from last year's Mae Young Classic. And there you have it, gang. 32 women, 16 matchups coming at us in just a couple of short weeks away from the WWE live on the WWE Network, the Mae Young Classic 2018. Don't miss it, and don't forget to be here immediately following their broadcast for our review and results show. And as always, gang, don't forget to leave us a like by hitting that button down below. Subscribe so that you do not miss a thing, and hit that notification bell so that you will be notified each and every time a video just like this one comes out for your viewing pleasure on the official station for your Mae Young Classic news, reviews, and coverage, the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show, only on Sledgehammer TV, right here on YouTube.com. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you next time.